618 crypto industry big promotion cryptocurrencies collectively discounted Bitcoin fell below $66,000. US inflation out of control, Tether acts as a savior, issues gold-backed stablecoin. Total market value of Bitcoin mining enterprises hits new high, miner surrender continues Bitcoin sell-off. To become the next US president, Trump used the cryptocurrency conspiracy. The case can be lost, the fines must be paid, the US SEC insists on fining Ripple. Measure the world with cryptocurrencies, master the 24-hour wealth code, and let's get rich together. June 18th, Tuesday, so here's Bitcoin TV's channel. I'm Zu, and this is Bitcoin sponsored 24-hour cryptocurrency headline. Last night, some shopping site had a 618 frenzy. US stocks like the Nasdaq again hit new highs, but the cryptocurrency market was in distress everywhere. After surging to 67,000 around 2 a.m., Bitcoin plunged rapidly to 64,000 around 9 a.m. this morning. The lowest in 3 weeks, Ethereum's fluctuation was even greater, plunging to 3,350 in the morning. Amidst Bitcoin's volatile movements, data shows that the total cryptocurrency liquidations exceeded 487 million in the past 24 hours, with 430 million from loans and nearly 200,000 traders being liquidated. The main reasons for this round of decline are, first, the spot Bitcoin ETF had a net outflow of 661 million in 4 days, with capital fleeing the market unabashedly. Second, exchanges recently shifted from a net Bitcoin outflow hoarding to a net inflow selling behavior. A large amount of funds were accumulated above 66,000, so if the price cannot return to 66,000 in the short term, it may need to fall further to force this part of the funds to cut losses and reaccumulate a new consensus level. Previously, as the room fever and Bitcoin's rise drove up the number of non-zero Bitcoin addresses, the number dropped noticeably after 618 sale, indicating a selling sentiment in the market. Many users are moving their tokens to exchanges for sale, and the number of profitable Bitcoin addresses is also decreasing, reflecting that many investors' holding costs are relatively high. Currently, with Bitcoin falling below $66,000, a large number of short-term funds are trapped, and these funds are now at a floating loss. How the trend will play out depends on whether these trapped investors continue to buy the dip or cut losses and sell. Yesterday, Bitcoin futures trading volume reached 43.4 billion, but this figure was still unable to reverse the overall downward trend. Spot trading volume was 6.7 billion, a noticeable decrease from the previous Sunday's average of 8 billion. Although Bitcoin's decline was significant, market trading sentiment was more stable. Those with small losses did not seem eager to cut losses and leave, and there was also no strong buying interest at prices slightly below 66,000. As the market still risks further declines, currently the market is at a critical juncture. The 64,000 to 66,000 range has become a key gateway for the market trend. If the price falls through this range, it may further explore 60,000, but if it can defend and rebound, it may gradually return to the 70,000 level. Please give us a like and follow, and we'll help you sort through the news that's closest to money in the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and mining industry in the last 24 hours. The US releases CPI and the PPI data, and the only good news is that the numbers have slightly declined. But the bad news is multifaceted. First, although the data has decreased, inflation is still at a high of 3.3% compared to China's 0.3% CPI in May. US inflation is 11 times that of China. How high does it have to be considered high? Second, even though the pace of inflation has slowed slightly, the Fed has found it cannot lower interest rates and can only watch helplessly as the US falls into stagflation, facing an unprecedented debt crisis. An article by former US House Speaker Paul Ryan has sparked a heated discussion about the role of stablecoins in alleviating the debt crisis and countering China.
Paul Ryan emphasized that the $162 billion stablecoin market has provided a huge source of demand for U.S. treasuries, and stablecoins' role in maintaining the U.S. dollar's dominance could not be more timely. Stablecoins provide reliable financing for U.S. fiscal spending, which could help the dollar maintain its enormous influence on the global financial system. At the same time, Tether announced the launch of a new gold-backed U.S. dollar stablecoin, Alloy, AUSDT. Tether CEO Paolo Arduino said the launch of Alloy is just part of their real-world asset tokenization platform. Market data shows that Bitcoin network transaction fees have now fallen to 12 satoshis per byte, with medium or high priority temporarily at 13 satoshis per byte.
The launch of Alloy marks an important step in Tether's path towards real-world asset tokenization. This gold-backed US dollar-pegged stablecoin, over-collateralized through Tether Gold, allows investors to enjoy the stability of the US dollar while being backed by the traditional safe haven asset of gold. This innovative synthetic dollar model has undoubtedly injected new vitality into the digital currency realm. Imagine holding Alloy that not only has the liquidity and stability of the US dollar, but is also backed by the real physical gold. This dual assurance allows investors to enjoy the convenience of digital currencies while feeling the security and solidity of traditional gold investment. This is undoubtedly a disruptive innovation in the traditional financial realm. Recently, Republican U.S. presidential candidate Trump posted on social media that Bitcoin mining could be the last line of defense against central bank CBDCs, and said he hopes all unmined Bitcoins will be produced in the U.S. He who has Bitcoin rules the world in this bull market. As Bitcoin prices continue to rise, the stock prices of many Bitcoin mining companies have also soared. Just yesterday, JP Morgan said its latest research report that the total market value of the 14 US-listed Bitcoin mining companies it tracks hit a new all-time high on June 15th.
JP Morgan pointed out that in the first half of June, the stock prices of almost all 14 mining companies outperformed Bitcoin, with Core Scientific, CORZ, one of the world's largest miners, seeing the biggest gain of 117%, surging 297% in nearly a month, with a market value of $1.837 billion. The network hash rate has decreased by about 1% since May, and these 14 companies now account for about 23.8% of the global network hash rate, an increase of 1% from last month, which is an exciting sign. However, according to Glassnode data, since October 2023, Bitcoin miners' BTC balances in their wallets have decreased by 30,000, with a total of around 1.8 million currently.
Price predictions are hard when you take out old highs, and so I do think we'll take out the 73,000 high before the end of this year and probably finish 100 somewhere in that zone. If I look at the market cap of gold, right, and Bitcoin at 70 is about 1.4 trillion, and gold is probably 13 or 14 trillion right now.
Or actually 15.
15 trillion. And so we're 1/10 of gold. As baby boomers die and that money comes down to Gen Z and millennials.
Novogratz is right. No matter how better Bitcoin gets, it won't change the fact that it has entered the world of the young. But looking back, why would miners sell Bitcoin when mining companies' market values are hitting new highs? One possible explanation is that after the Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin mining companies' operating costs increased, which reduced the Bitcoin rewards. Miners need to sell more Bitcoins to obtain operating funds or purchase new equipment to increase their mining capabilities. This explains to some extent why miners would choose to sell Bitcoins at this time. On the other hand, smaller mining companies may no longer be able to survive and have to sell Bitcoins to cash out and shut down their mining operations. This is also one of the reasons why the mining difficulty is decreasing, but miners are continuously selling BTC. As Bitcoin prices fluctuate and mining difficulties increase, some smaller mining companies may not be able to bear the high operating costs and have to exit the market. Wants to build a US crypto city to gain supporters, cryptocurrencies becomes Trump's trump card to strike back to the White House. 20 billion in fines becomes 1 billion. The US SEC really is shameless. The US presidential election held every 4 years will officially take place on November 5th this year. Former US President Trump, representing the Republican Party, is actively courting votes to challenge the incumbent President Biden's bid for re-election. Because during Biden's administration, US regulators such as the SEC have continued to put pressure on the cryptocurrency industry, while Trump has recently publicly endorsed the cryptocurrencies multiple times. This US election is being closely watched by people in the crypto industry, and the two sides' policies toward the Web3 industry have even become an important issue that could potentially influence the election.
Happy birthday to you.
Recently, at his 78th birthday party, Trump again publicly endorsed cryptocurrencies, claiming that if he is elected the next U.S. president, he will ensure a lot of cryptocurrency activity is promoted in Florida. It is understood that Florida is the most crypto-friendly state in terms of cryptocurrency taxation, with all cryptocurrency activities being exempt from income tax. Additionally, in March 2023, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis also proposed a bill to ban CBDCs locally.
Joe Biden's war on crypto, and we will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in America. We're going to keep it right here, and a lot of it's going to be done right here in Florida, right?
首先呢，我们不能忽视这个佛罗里达州在加密货币领域是有它的领先优势的。佛州已经明确了对于加密货币的课税政策，怎么收税大家知道吗？就是不征收所有的所得税。那同时呢，在佛罗里达还提高了加密货币的试点的计划，鼓励企业用加密货币资产来支付州费。这些举措都让佛州有望成为美国的加密货币之城。所以大家知道佛州还有什么？有全美国最多的比特币的 ATM 机和内存区块链公司的注册量，全美最高的。所以川普应该是看中了这一点，他计划呢在当选之后进一步推动佛罗里达州在加密货币领域的发展，这就意味着佛州会获得更多的资源、政策和关注。那在今年7月份的美国比特币大会上呢，我也会到美国，然后我希望能够到佛州亲自去带大家看一看那个地方的加密氛围到底有多浓厚。
First, we cannot ignore Florida's leading position in the cryptocurrency field. This state has made it clear that it will not tax cryptocurrencies and has also launched a cryptocurrency pilot program to encourage businesses to use cryptocurrencies for state payments. These measures have made Florida a hotbed for cryptocurrency activities, with many Bitcoin ATMs and blockchain companies headquartered there, and the public interest in cryptocurrencies is also among the highest in the country. Trump clearly sees this advantage and plans to further promote Florida's development in the cryptocurrency field after being elected. This means more resources, policies, and attention will be devoted to this area, truly making Florida the crypto city of the US. This will not only accelerate Florida's economic transformation and innovative development, but will also bring new vitality and opportunities to the global cryptocurrency market. The dispute between Ripple and the US SEC has become a prolonged tug-of-war since the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple in December 2020. This case about the securities classification of cryptocurrencies has attracted countless eyes to this day. In the previous round, the SEC demanded that Ripple be fined nearly $2 billion, but recently the two sides have fallen into a fierce dispute over the amount of the fine. This dispute stems from the SEC's allegation that Ripple raised $1.3 billion through the issuance of the unregistered securities, i.e. XRP, since 2013. Although Ripple won a preliminary victory last July, the two sides have still not reached a consensus on the amount of the fine.
In this legal battle, Ripple tried to defend itself by citing the SEC's settlement agreement with Terraform Labs. Ripple's lawyers, in requesting a reduced fine, pointed out that in similar or even more serious cases, the SEC typically agreed to civil penalties ranging from 0.6% to 1.8% of the defendant's total revenue. They demanded that the fine be reduced to no more than $10 million. However, the SEC rejected Ripple's request on the grounds that the nature of the settlement with Terraform Labs is different, and insisted that the fine should be close to $1.26 billion.
Initially, the SEC was adamant about the $2 billion fine, and if Ripple is eventually ordered to pay a $2 billion fine, it will have a significant impact on the company. First, the company's financial condition will be severely hit, which may lead to a plunge in stock prices and a loss of investor confidence. More importantly, a $2 billion fine could trigger a chain reaction in the entire digital currency market, causing greater market volatility. Now, after several rounds of wrangling, the SEC has brought the fine down to around $1 billion, which seems like a step back, but from Ripple's perspective, the SEC's punishment is still too heavy. There are no victims to compensate, so why use this as a reason to fine them? What do you think?
Venezuelan political critics accuse the president and his government of increasingly relying on cryptocurrency transactions in an attempt to evade international sanctions. The U.S. recently reimposed sanctions on gold and oil because Maduro failed to ensure an agreement for fair elections in July. Recent regulatory filings show that NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang cashed out $312 million through a series of insider trades, selling 240,000 shares of his holdings on June 13th and 14. Crypto mining hardware manufacturer Bitmain launched two new mining rigs, the Antminer S21XP and S21XP Hydro, at the World Digital Mining Summit, held in Las Vegas on June 17th. Recently, Justin's son deposited $14.3 million worth of crypto assets on Binance, including 3.45 million ETHFI airdropped tokens, 6.22 million purchased CRV tokens, and $333,000 worth of CVX, Matic, GAL, Woo, Pros, and True tokens, totaling 8 different tokens. Recently, users reported that OpenAI's ChatGPT experienced an outage. Media outlets said that in the US and UK, the mobile and web versions of ChatGPT would fail to respond to user prompts from time to time, either for several minutes or not responding at all, displaying various errors.